Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we'll be covering a few things regarding the Xbox 360. So we'll be covering different storage devices such as the 3.5 drive, the normal 2.5, and something I've been working on, which is the M.2 drive. So I'll be going over how I connect each of them to the board itself, because each of them require different port delivery and setup. And also I'll be showing how I actually get them mounted, because I have to create different mounts for them because there are different sizes. Now all the mounts that I create will work with the current design that I did for the slim case. So, and those will be available if you want to try them out. So, let's jump right into it. So here we have our Xbox 360 board all mounted up, power is connected, HDMI is connected, and we'll first be connecting our 3.5 inch drive. So we'll be working with our 8 terabyte Western Digital, and what I'll be using to connect it is our regular SATA cable and our SATA power connector. In previous videos I actually show how to construct this cable. You can check on my 101 videos. So let's get into it. So we're connecting our power. And for the SATA itself, we'll connect it where it should be. And then for our drives, where we have all the connection here, we're connecting our data cable and our power. Alright, so we're gonna power on our console and we'll see how it behaves. Alright, so now that we have everything hooked up, we're gonna power on our console. Alright, so power is on. And we can see it's booting up. So as for loading to Aurora itself, it may take a while because I put a tons of games on it, a little bit over 800. I've exaggerated how many games. I just wanted to see the performance. So in loading into Aurora, it may take a while. It all depends if all the game art has been loaded up, which I didn't bother to do all of that. It would have taken a long time. So you may see certain messages as if backing up certain games and so forth, and that's regarding to the metadata for that game. So, all right, so we are into Aurora, and you can see it is actually working. If you look at the game count, there's a lot of games that are on the console itself. Some of the box art haven't actually finished loading, but you can go into any game and it does work. So I'll just launch a random game, and you can see our 3.5 is working. So this may be a way to actually archive all your games that you have, or every game that you'll ever play. And knowing that this method can allow up to 16 terabyte, so you're well on your way to actually archiving your games and play to your heart content. So our next drive that we'll be moving on to is our M.2 drive, and I'll actually show you how that is connected. Alright, so here we are with our M.2 drive. So this PCB actually convert the M.2 to SATA. This is not for NVMe, just M.2 SSD, and this basically open up the option for storage. So you'll have your 3.5 inch drive, you have your M.2, and you'll have your regular 2.5 SATA. So I've designed an enclosure for this, and this enclosure actually fits on the original frame that I've designed, and I'll do the assembly process to show you how it fits together. But yes, these PCBs you can get either on AliExpress or Amazon. It's fairly good price. You have different brand and manufacturers, so be sure to read the description to ensure that you are buying the right one for the SS the M.2 you have, because you have different key size, so there is B or A or so forth. So you'll make sure that you have the right board for the drive that you have. So we're going to put this together. We're going to hook it up to our console, and then we'll see how it actually behaves. Now that we have everything connected, we're going to power on our console. So it is connected just as you'll connect your 2.5-inch drive. No additional power requirements as the 3.5-inch drive would require. And this will also boot our custom screen that we also set up. So we'll boot directly into Aurora, where you'll see our game library, and we'll try a game, let you see how it's actually working. And there we boot right in. You can see we have our game, so this M.2 is working, and we can just launch a game, and there we go. Now what I'm going to do next is actually demonstrate how all of these drives is mounted. I didn't demonstrate the 2.5-inch drive because everyone knows that works and how it actually connects, but I will show how each drive connect onto the frame that I've designed. So if anyone wants to actually do this mod also, that I've already printed the previous case mod, they can actually apply this. Alright, so first we're going to show to mount the 3.5-inch drive, and let's jump to that right now. Alright, so here we have our console. It says all the way down to the board. We have our fan frame that was designed for all the other cases. So the same fan frame can be used. The only addition is in assembling it is quite different for the 3.5-inch drive. So normally this frame takes 6 M3 screws. You're going to put in the first 4. These first 4, you're going to leave these 2 blank. And what those 2 are going to do is help to mount the 3.5-inch case for the drive. So when using the 3.5-inch case, you won't be able to use the 120mm fan. You have to go back down to a 90mm, which for that fan I'm using this nice thermal light fan. It's 27 RPM, 27,000 RPM I should say. So let's go and mount this frame so you can see how it's all connected. So you want to get those 2 screwed in. And then you'll actually screw in the other 2 that's required for the frame. And this will make sure that the frame that holds the drive doesn't go anywhere, because the drive is quite heavy compared to the regular 2.5-inch drive. And then what you'll do, you just slide the drive right in. Make sure it goes straight down. And then with the design cover, you can cover the drive. Now it does have holes on the side to actually hold the drive in. Which uses the screws that will come for a 3.5-inch drive. So unlike the 2.5-inch drive, those also use M3 screws. These do not. So you'd have to get screws for 3.5-inch drive, but it can be mounted on the side to make sure the drive and the covering doesn't go anywhere. And then you have the fan. Now for orientation, you can choose to do push or pull. I always do pull. You can slide this right in there. So I need to put the fan in first. There we have our fan in. Then we have our cover. And then we'll connect our fan that we normally do. You know, this cable is a bit long, so we'll get that connected. And then you'll just connect up your drives and everything. So once you have disconnected, that's how you actually mount it. You'll finish assemble the case and everything. If you have your own design, that's fine. But that's how the actual 3.5 will actually fit inside this case. Now I'm going to move on to the M.2 drive, and how the mounting process is a bit easier than this one, but we'll go right into it. Alright, so with the M.2 drive, same frame. The only difference is it follows the same assembly process as the 2.5 inch drive. So you'll actually install all 6 screws. And we can install our fan. So you can still use a 120mm fan. And for this, you'll use all 4 screws for this. But for this demonstration, it's going to use 2 to hold the fan in place. So we have our fan, and for the mount for the M.2, so you'll mount the top section first. That will hold that into place, and then you'll have your M.2 insert into there. And then you'll mount the cover on right after. And that will secure the drive in. So you do have a window here where you can actually change out the M.2 to whatever size you want. You don't have to really remove the frame that actually hold it in. And then you'll connect up your drives and everything, such as the power. So the power go over here, and your data port. So it will look just like that. So to hold the drive in, it's not going anywhere because it's actually light, but you can use a 2-side tape for this to hold the PCB in. Because being that you won't be removing this, the only thing you'll be removing is the drive itself. So if you need to change that out, I don't have a screw here, but the only thing you need to do is remove the small screw, and you pull the drive out, change whatever drive you want, and put it back in, and that's how you actually keep this all together. Alright, so we'll go on to our 2.5 inch drive. How it's mounted is quite similar to this with the design case. Alright, let's get this removed. And for 3.5, all it's doing is putting this down and screw that in. And that's basically how that drive is mounted. All that's left for you to do is to do your connection. And you'll connect your power and the data section. And that's how it actually looks. And that's how you connect on your 2.5 HDD drive. So yeah, so that's how all those three drives work. The M.2, you can actually use it as a drive. There are some PCBs that have two M.2. I'm gonna try one in the future to see what happens when you put two M.2 drive in there, whether it's, you know, two 4 terabytes or two 1 terabyte. You just want to see if the console itself can actually see it as one drive or how it's going to behave. So I'm curious to do that experiment, which what I'm going to do sometime in the future. But as for this video, this concludes everything: the connection of your 3.5-inch drive, the M.2, and how to mount it within the case. As I said, these files are available if needed for you to try on your own. I know most people have tried my files before and they download the STL and print it and they like it. So if you want to add a 3.5-inch or a M.2, I can put those files also, make them available for you to try and experiment. And yeah, so that will conclude for this video. Like and subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.